Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I am giving you a flip through of my weekly planner for the month of April, along with its messy handwritings, crossed out plans, grace-filled changes, and all. You'll see what worked, what didn't, how I used the space to track both productivity and spiritual growth. So hopefully you will get some fresh ideas for your own rhythm. So let's dive in. So this is the first week of April. It started with March 31st. If you haven't seen my previous video on how I use this side section, my daughter does the menu planning and the grocery shopping list. So I use this for a brainstorm every single week. And then I use this section in a different way. So I'm gonna walk you through what I use this area for. So this one was all about ignite. It's setting on fire, kindling, flaming the desire for God. And so throughout the week, I just asked a certain question or just jotted down something. So for example, Monday was what distractions or habits might be dimming my passion for God right now. And then it was just a little side prayer, purify my heart so it burns for you only. Tuesday was what should this passion look like? Teach me, show me, lead me, which is based on this verse right here. And then this bottom part, I just used it for the house cleaning that I did. The faith focus that I focused on was passion for God is not a feeling to chase, but a fire to be kindled through time in his presence, delight in his word, and surrender to his will. And the truth to embrace was that God responds to hungry hearts. When you seek him, he will be found. And so then I went through what I was excited about, nervous about, mindful about. You've got your press in over here. Are you a student of his ways, his path, and his truth? And then pour out. So pray that God uses your fire for him to spark that fire and that desire in someone else. And then I've got my action plans, the things that I needed to get done. And then where I saw God working, this is pretty personal, so I just covered that up. And then I flipped forward to the actual week. And the way I use this, I've got my business items and personal items up here. I've got some of the things that I had to do before the new month began. And then I've got down here, I just wrote one way that I saw God. So it was just one way that I saw God, either like this says, the beauty on new growth in the leaves outside. God is the God of new beginnings. And then on Wednesday, it was the creativity in his creation, how a song sparrow is so tiny, yet their songs project so far. And then down here, it was just create a deep longing in me. And then I wrote verses out that corresponded with that. And then Friday, we found baby bunnies we've got a big barrel planter outside, and my daughter was cleaning out the leaves and everything. And she came across this little bitty litter of bunnies, and they were so small and they got away. And so we were like, Lord, please help us to catch these little bunnies. So we were able to get them back into their little area. I guess it freaked them out. And we were able to get them back into their area and cover them up until their mama came. And I think she moved them. We didn't go back over and look, but I think she moved them. And then I've got my getting things done. That's GDT, everything that I do with the planning time. And then we've got the next week. I've got my brainstorm, and this week the focus was adore. So it's exalt, glorify, treasure. And it's based on Psalm 145, 2-3. But down here, the press in is to read Psalm 145 and write down some of the wondrous works that are listed. And so that's what I did down here. I did Psalm 145 and I went through and just wrote down everything that I saw. And what I did for this area is, as I was going through Psalm 145, I wrote down the verse and then what it entails. So this is creation. All your works shall give thanks to you. So it's the work of God's creation. And on this one, it's verse 5, and it's on the glorious splendor of your majesty. So I will meditate. Majesty. This is compassion. The Lord is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and abounding in steadfast love. And so I just went through and wrote down the verse that it corresponded to and what I adored about that. And then over here, the faith focus was worship is a daily rhythm of the heart, a holy habit of honor. And the truth to embrace is that his unsearchable greatness calls us into continual wonder and worship. It's not just on a Sunday morning or even every morning. It's a continual worship and wonder. So then I rated last week, and then I've got my prayer list, my action steps that are then put onto the weekly plan. And this is the weekly plan. This, again, I got these stickers from Planner Kate. and I will include that link below. I also incorporate other stickers that I have throughout because I do have quite a few. So this week I've got it set up with business and personal things at the top. And then I meant to weigh myself every single day, but I was not doing the greatest in my workout or in my eating. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to weigh myself when that's the case. So I'm still trying to lose weight. Y'all, it's hard when you get this old and you have thyroid issues, been on medicine for a very long time. And so it's a struggle to lose any kind of weight. And unfortunately, it always has been for me. So then I've got my intro. I was able to write that. I was able to do these things for the Bible study that I was writing, stickers. And then down here, I just wrote out, Lord, I adore you for the beauty you've created, the skies, the trees, every detail declares your glory. So the word of the week is adore. And so I just wrote down some other words, extol, bless, praise, and define them. And then each day I just wrote out a small prayer of why I adore God. So moving on, we've got April 14th through the 20th. This was Easter weekend right here. And my mom actually ended up going to the hospital. So this was actually Holy Week. And so that's how I used it and set it up. I've got the Hebrew day, and this all corresponds to the Passover festival. So I do have a Bible study, a complete Bible study on that. If you want to take a look at that, it's free. It's in the Chosen Library. So just go to my blog. I'll include that link below and sign up, and you'll receive access to all of this. And it also walks you through exactly what Jesus did each day of Holy Week. So that's a free printable in there as well. So just sign up and you'll get that for next year. So this was all about what Jesus did on each day of Holy Week. And so I just wrote down what I read from that plan. And then I said, Lord, cleanse the temple of my life, because that's when he went in and cleansed the temple, cleaned out the temple. And so remove anything that steals from you. And then, so I just went through there and wrote those things down. And the faith focus was exalting Christ as we draw near to Easter Sunday. And the truth to embrace was for me to sit at the table, stand at the cross, rejoice at the tomb. So really placing myself, not that I was in the story of Holy Week, but placing myself as a observer of Holy Week. Okay, and then I've got I see God working. I've got it covered. It's personal. And then flip to the weekly view. I've got my workout info at the top. I've got my work info here. And then I've got items that I needed to pay, the Bible study that I'm writing, the things that I needed to do on it. I was painting the bathroom cabinets, the master bathroom cabinets, and so I did that. And then the errands that I had to run. And then down here, I have just a short summary of what happened on that day. But then down here, I have thankful in my heart. So I just wrote some things that I was thankful for. And then I was supposed to attend the 9:15 service. Didn't do that. My mom was in the hospital all day long, so I was there all day long. So nothing happened here. So moving forward to the next week, I've got my brain dump information here. And this week's word is discover. It's to find, to explore, to dig up. And then it says, press in, keep a list of the many gifts God showers you with this week and pour out. Discover ways that you can be a gift to the body of Christ. And so I just wrote how I'm trying to be a blessing and a gift to the body of Christ, which is here on YouTube, and then serving at church and writing Bible studies and that. And then over here, I just use this area. So the note for this day was gratitude for God's good gifts. The note for this day was recognizing God's unchanging nature, which is super essential for us to understand that God does not change like we do. Then it was trust God's timing, embrace God's goodness, gratitude for spiritual gifts, a heart of generosity, and then to a release. So the faith focus, it's based on James 1:17, and that there is no variation or shadow due to change in God. And so that's what this is based on. It's God is unchanging, constant, unlike the everyday changing world around. No matter our circumstances or how things seem to shift, we can trust God's unchanging nature to guide, sustain, and provide, and then the truth to embrace from that. Because of God's unchanging way, I can rest in his promise, draw strength from his love, and find peace to trust in him. So moving forward to the weekly view, I did not complete this very thoroughly. There were things that I did that did not get onto the planner. There were things that I should have put on the planner that did not get put on the planner. And that's just life. Sometimes life happens, like my mom being hospitalized. Things just don't get done the way that they do. I normally do this on Sunday, but I was at the hospital on Sunday, and so it didn't get done until Monday. And so it was just a quick get it done. But the way that I used this was I did 3 of the must-dos for that day. And then Friday we were at it was called a calling conference at DBU. And so we spent the whole day there. My daughter had prom on Saturday night, and my husband was serving as security there. So that took up our entire Saturday. So I have some errands that I had to run that week and people that I had to contact. And then here I just put just short, small, either gratitude or prayer. So Lord, please heal my mom and give her many more years with us. Thank you that my sister is here to help care for her. And thank you for family. It's so special. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it just got away from me. So I was able to do the planning time on Sunday for the week ahead. And that, my friend, is a wrap on April. I hope that this flip through gives you a little inspiration, not just for how to use your planner, while I do want that, but also for how to embrace planning really as a tool for stewardship, but not perfection. As you see, planners are not meant for perfection. They are meant for productivity and purpose. So that's just a friendly reminder. Your planner doesn't have to be perfect, picture perfect, to be purposeful. Every scribble, every skipped task, the small wins, they tell the story of a month that is well lived and led by grace. So if this video encouraged you, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you don't miss next month's plan with me and more faith-centered productivity videos. So let me know in the comments what worked for your planning this month and what is one thing that you're looking to carry into the next month. Thank you so much for being here. Keep planning with purpose, and I'll see you in the next video.